Well, Eric Rogers and I are back in our familiar spot, although this week we are not talking about the WIAA playoffs, which I got to hit during our headlines. No. We're talking Big Ten. Yes, that's what it is. It's big football as we start breaking down games in the conference, as we start getting closer and closer to bowl time, college football playoffs. A lot of people think Wisconsin might be there. I'm not one of them. We'll start breaking down scores. As much as I love Bucky. I love Bucky. I love the Badgers. I don't know if I necessarily see the path that they're actually going to get there. But let's talk about what happened over the weekend. Badgers, a win in Illinois. Very ho-hum, boring kind of a win.
Maybe championship defense. We'll get into that a little bit, but you see the scores here. Wisconsin 24-10 over Illinois. Nebraska beats Purdue 25-24 late. Michigan State loses to Northwestern in triple overtime, and then Minnesota losing to Iowa. So just to recap the games, let's start at Wisconsin. Let's go to the top of the board and talk about that game. Obviously, the Jonathan Taylor injury, they lose him in the first half. They kind of had some troubles getting that offense going, but the defense for Wisconsin still looked like it was a championship-level defense, holding Illinois to, 286 yards, recording 5 sacks and forcing 3 turnovers. So still some things there that you can look at and say, hey, I mean, Wisconsin defense always keeps Wisconsin in it. And so whether you think they are a college football playoff contender or not is going to come down to the offense.
I don't see anything wrong with the defense at all. In fact, the defense, to me, might be the best defense in the nation. I think they're that good, that well coached, always in the right spot, makes big plays. Got to love their defense. Offensively, though, I don't think I'm buying Alex Hornibrook. I'm surprised at the drop-off in productivity once Jonathan Taylor's out, because I thought they'd be much
Shaw
deeper.
Looked lost.
Yeah, and I am not expecting that. I think Bradrick Shaw was the guy that was supposed to carry the load this year,
right.
And he doesn't look like it. And so when I look at that offense and I'm thinking, okay, how are they going to match up against Alabama or Georgia or even in a Big Ten championship game against Ohio State or Penn State? I don't know if I see a path to victory for the Badgers being able to put up enough points to stay with teams like that.
I still think, you go undefeated in the regular season. We've seen just a parody of Big Ten football. It doesn't, if you just get your win, go into the Big Ten championship game, beat whoever that is, Ohio State, Penn State, whoever, and then hopefully that gets you enough in that game to put you into it.
Yeah, let's talk about that regular season. And I got the schedule here. So they're at Indiana, home to Iowa and Michigan, finish up at Minnesota. Now, for a team that's in the top 5, I'm thinking, oh, that's cruise control. That's 4 easy wins. I look at the schedule. I don't think the Badgers go undefeated the rest of the way. I think that there's a stub your toe. Okay, they've done it before. Northwestern's been a horrible place for them throughout the years, and sometimes it's been Indiana as well, and that's a game that I think Bucky could stub their toe at next week.
Well, we did this thing last year. It was, Wisconsin has a hard schedule, and then I personally totally underestimated them, and now we're looking at an easy schedule, and sure, they lose some pieces, but they still got, like you said, if they have the best defense in the nation, I don't see why there's really any reason. As long as Jonathan Taylor is able to come back and make some contributions or find a guy to make do if he's not, then that's your key.
Yeah, I think the matchups against Iowa, Michigan, and Minnesota play into their favor. I think those are all 3 bad offenses that they're going to face the rest of the way. Good defenses, bad offenses, and I think that works to Bucky's advantage. Indiana could put points on the board, and if that turns into a track meet at Indiana, Wisconsin's going to lose that game.
Well, you saw the big play this weekend, the play of the game we haven't talked about yet, and Michael Dieter getting a backwards pass, which counts as a run from Alex Hornibrook. The left tackle scores a touchdown.
I know.
So, all right, well, we should probably move on anyway.
Yeah. Why don't we move on? We wanted to talk a little bit of Northwestern and Michigan State in that one. Northwestern, one of those places that a lot of teams will stub their toe at. The Badgers have done it year after year, it seems like. This time it's Michigan State. A one-loss team goes in there, come out with 2 losses.
Yeah, yikes. Brian Lewerke, quarterback, goes 39 of 57, sets a school record with 445 passing yards, throws 4 touchdowns, but then that late pick, and that's what ends up costing them the game. And the defense the running game wasn't doing them any favors, 95 total rushing yards.
Yeah, and so also there was a Floyd of Rosedale. Just want to mention that because it's a really cool trophy with a big pig on it. They used to play for the Slab of Bacon. That's one of the cool trophy games that's not only in the Big Ten, I think in the entire nation. Okay, the big game everybody was talking about when we look at the scoreboard right here is right up at the top there, that Ohio State-Penn State game.
Yeah, so quickly recapping, 42-39 Maryland over Indiana, Michigan beating Rutgers, But yes, Ohio State was not even winning at any point in that game, and then they go and do just insane fourth quarter. They're down, 35-20 going into that quarter. JT Barrett goes off. What did he end up with? 328 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and 95 rushing yards.
Yeah, he was on fire, and that's one where I see, if the Badgers end up playing Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game.
Don't say it.
Well, here's
not 59-0.
Right, but here's another problem too. I mean, the Badgers could actually maybe lose a game. They're still going to win the West and still be in there as a one-loss team. They could beat Ohio State or Penn State and still not make the college football playoff.
I agree. They have to win out.
They have to win out, and I think it becomes a real kind of a mess and a pressure cooker for Paul Chryst and the boys. I hope I'm wrong. I love Bucky. I'm worried about that team. The offense does not look good right now.
Well, we'll have to see how that ends up going on because the season, we ran out of time here, Rich.
Right. There's no other way to do it. So we'll have Big Ten reports as we go along here on the Sports News.